So guys, just gotta tell you real quick, I've recorded the reaction on the song, but my recording software died sadly, so I just want to warn you that the audio quality from my microphone will be a bit worse in this episode. Also, I have to re-record some visuals now, so you understand what I'm talking about in this episode. Aside from that, I wish you a lot of fun with this great song. Okay, so we're starting off pretty strong already. There's a lot to unpack, even in the beginning. First of all, I guess we have these like really cheesy costumes. To introduce the guys in the video, I guess, that's the guitarist. His name is Shu. This is the early vocalist of the band. His name is Yama B. B because apparently there's also a Yama A. There is a small backstory behind of that, but it's not that relevant here. They're essentially the two main guys which formed Galneryus as far as I know. Musically, I think, to me, it feels like it starts off with some kind of storm. If you listen to the guitars in the beginning, playing this descending stuff, and then the strings in the background coming in, bringing some kind of airy feel to it, and a really cool riff. I think it's a bit back in the mix, but if you listen to it, it's like some real headbanger stuff. Plus, of course, the scream in the vocals. All of that evokes some chaotic feel, and I think it portrays some kind of storm. It also would fit with the visuals. We have this like really hectic camera work, of course, and also a bit cheesy, I have to say, but I kind of like it. Then we have this map in the background introducing you into some fantasy world or something. We have wind in his hair, also kind of cheesy stuff, but I totally dig it. Also, it's kind of funny to imagine the director of the video saying, "Oh, okay, this part where there's some guitar noise, guitar guy, what's your name again? Can you please just do some really weird movements?" That's how those sounds are created, you know? Okay, so I think we've listened to the verse and the chorus now, and then we jumped right back into the beginning, into the, I called it some stormy kind of part. This time, we didn't have guitar noise, we had actually the keyboard, the synth keyboard making noise, which I also liked atmospherically. They oftentimes do this kind of stuff where they just do some atmospheric noise, like I would call it. And it sometimes makes for some really interesting musical moments. So if you look back at the verse, I think we got a pretty decent idea of Yama B's vocals there. He has this like raspy, deep style, but also has some kind of operatic element to it. I really like his voice actually. He does some other styles along the way in later songs, but this is his main thing he does. That little lick. We also have some harpsichord in the background in this, so it always gets more heightened royal feeling, I would assume, but it still has the same mood. It's very dramatic. It has very dramatic strings in the background, and also the melody is, very, very fitting, I would say. It's I wouldn't say catchy is the right word for it. I just think it's very atmospheric. I also was a bit too harsh on like their English pronunciation the last episode, because I think Yama B, I think I understand more than half of the words, which I think Shu's vocals and also the later vocalist's vocals, I also understand some words, but like not all of that much really. His English is pretty good actually. Also now after the keyboard noise part, we'll get into a part that seems to be cut out in the video, so we're gonna listen to the audio for that part. Also, this riff, it's so cool. It takes like this descending stuff they did in the beginning, but also mixes it up with the riff they had in the verse, and they had this and they're doing this, but they also don't do it for the whole verse. It's changed up, you know. They're changing it up. Then they're playing some arpeggio, and then they're playing this and this. Do you hear that? Just the guitar in the background, it has this like, it's really chaotic, you know? The whole thing is really chaotic, but it has these calm, dramatic elements in the background with the strings and also the guitar sometimes with the second guitar. It has this really cool, epic fantasy atmosphere while still being this fast, aggressive song. And I'm aware of the fact that like almost all speed metal bands do this kind of stuff, but I think Galneryus is exceptionally good at doing this. heard that piano coming in, adding another level of like really beautiful dramatic vibes. It's just they're having all those layers, you know. But I think you heard it. It's really cool. So now we've already hit the part where we can jump into the music video again. So I think we're gonna do that now. Just the keyboard in this also, all those sounds. I think it's all the keyboard with all those sounds with the strings and these synth sounds which are really fitting, also with the harpsichord here, all of that stuff. I think we have to listen to that again. It's some kind of breakdown. Yeah, what they did with the timing as well, you know, did some normal stuff and then they did. Also, I love the sound on the keyboard. This was one of the things I was talking about. This sound is really cool especially in this spot of the song. I don't know if it was emulating a specific instrument or something, or if it was just a synth sound. If you know more about it, you can tell me. There we got the keyboard again. That's such a cool solo. Like, I kind of get why this. I think it at least seemed to be an early fan favorite. At least if you watch concerts and stuff. I don't know much about it, but it's really an early Galneryus banger of the highest quality. Let's say that. And considering the fact that it's their first album, I know they all have a history of other bands they were in before, but still, it's just really cool for a debut album. So I think we're gonna listen to the solo just for the heck of it again from the breakdown part, and then we're gonna move on to whatever comes next. The timing switches here. Just the keyboard solo, man. Yo, I mean, I told you in the last episode that Shu is typically, so the guitarist is typically doing the harsh vocals, but of course, the lead vocalist can scream as well. He can also he sings raspy almost all the time, and it was really cool seeing them scream together, also in the video. Also, this effect on his voice. We got the guitar. We got the guitar joining in with the melody, which was introduced by the piano before. They're positioned in this really cheesy kind of way. He's this knight telling his stories of battle, and he's like this kind of metal bard standing in the background, playing the music to it. It has kind of those vibes, and I'm pretty sure they went for that kind of thing. Also, Yama B seems to have protagonist position in this, also carrying the sword, of course, in the later part when the solo plays. So they kind of dropped that aesthetic later on a bit. They didn't keep this full fantasy costume stuff up for the later albums, but I still think it's pretty cool for their first songs. So I think what I really love about this kind of music is, in the end, we jump back to the storm again. But we started off in the storm, but we don't stay there. It evolves, and we're moving through all these kinds of places and moods and atmospheres, and then we'll end up in the storm again. But also, it cleared up in some sense. There were blue skies in the end. So I'm really curious what the song is about. I mean, we can assume based on the context given in the last episode, but still, I'm interested. And this is also a really cool song. So I think I don't have to say much more about it. It's technically great. It's really atmospheric. It's really dramatic and beautiful. So let's just look at the lyrics. Just to recap the context given in last episode, I guess I thought a bit about it, and I think it would help if we opened up the album cover again. So we had this kind of fantasy-looking illustration by Yoshitaka Amano, and it looked like it played in the past or some alternative version of the past, But the introduction song said very clearly in the first line that it's playing in the future. And I think that's an interesting aspect because as it appears by the illustration, the future is kind of messed up, I think there was stuff with the ground being melted and all plants have died. The future in their vision looks like a place which is so destroyed and chaotic that we're really gonna be thrown back into the past. Like, those guys are walking around like cavemen. And also they seem to be some kind of human-animal hybrids. It's not humans anymore. Things are flowing and melting into one another. Also, if you look at the floor, it looks organic and like fluid. I think that's a really cool setting to base your fantasy story in, because it gives you room to play with all those grand themes and exploring reality through the lens of all of these great forces, which are kind of repressed in these days. I just think it's interesting to try to interpret a bit what's going on here, because I never did that. I've listened to Galneryus for years, and I never did that, and I never really cared about the lyrics all that much. Although with some stuff, of course, you sing along, but you never think more deeply about it, you know? And I think you just have to assume that people who put so much into their art and music, that they don't just write anything really. I just have to assume that all of this stuff means something to them, you know? See the blood of our friends that's sticking to us, rising out of the sea of sorrow. There's nothing to lose anymore. We will be fighting till we get hold of our victory. Oh, my sword leads us to the castle where the evil lies. So they're talking about a castle, probably the castle of the dictator, which was introduced as this kind of, yeah, I think it's interesting because it seemed like a regime ruling over the whole world, you know? So it has to be a really huge or a really heavily guarded castle, at least, if there's a leader leading over the whole world. The sacrifice was big, but we became stronger. We get hold of glory again. On the road we will defeat our enemy, even if we become the dust. The armors protect our body and departed souls protect our mind. Now the time we'll break through the gate of steel into perdition. Struggle for freedom, it's our rule. See the fire of steel that calling on us. Oh, my sword blaze up. We are children of this battlefield. The sacrifice was big, but became stronger. We get hold of the glory again. On the road we will defeat our enemy, even if we'll become the dust. That's the part repeated before the chorus again. This is the chorus. The armors protect our body and departed souls protect our mind. Now the time will break through the gate of steel into perdition. Struggle for freedom, it's our rule. No one can stop the force that shatters the dark, rolling like thunder and run through the lightning. Okay, so here we have the storm theme, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't completely off with that, because also the visuals in the music video supported that. But yeah, it's more of a metaphor here, actually. It's a metaphor for the attacking force, actually. So the rebels attacking are like thunder. So they're fast and they're like a really heavy storm rolling over the tyrant's army. Okay, and then we're gonna repeat those parts again. Struggle for freedom, it's our rule. So we clearly have right in the beginning have this great battle raging with raging rage, as you remember from last time, at the castle of the tyrant. So it's not a later part in the story. We're starting off with that. That's the start of all of the story. Also, a detail I forgot to mention last time was, I think Galneryus is supposed to be the name of the protagonist. There seems to be some kind of protagonist. I don't know if it's the guy on the cover of the album or someone else. I don't know. I don't know who those other characters are as well. I don't know. But I think I heard Shu or someone saying in an interview that Galneryus was supposed to be the name of the protagonist. Okay, so that was interesting. I hope you enjoyed the song. I hope I didn't talk too much, uninteresting stuff in between, and I'm excited to listen to the next songs with you. Also, if you have some extra information about the song or the band, or if you want to tell us what you enjoyed most about the song, please share it in the comments with us. I'll hope you tune in next time when we're gonna listen to the next song, Beyond the Ground. Until then, see ya!